Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Boris Johnson wins race to be Tory leader and PM from BBC News 6 hours ago, and it has been incredibly hot today. It's days like this where we are all grateful that I do not use my camera. It's like the actual Justice Warrior, Sean, who says in the summer months he does not use his camera because you don't want to see his positioning when it is so hot, and the same definitely goes here. So, Boris Johnson has been elected new Conservative leader in a ballot of party members and will become the next UK Prime Minister. Yes, people have voted for the Conservative Party, and then the Conservative Party members then voted for their leader, as is the way it has always been, even though some people say, oh, well, 99.8 or 99.98% of us didn't vote, therefore we should get another vote, as Jeremy Corbyn says. And obviously, any party who isn't currently leading, if they think they have a shot, they're going to say, well, yes, call an election now. Because, obviously they're going to take over. That's why the leading party normally flunk the first 2 years till they need to do whatever to get by. And then the next 2 years is just their re-election bid. So then they can call an election when they think they're doing well. So all the other parties are going to say, well, call one while you're doing badly, because then we could actually win. Obviously, Theresa May tried to extend her lead last time, and then the DUP with Arlene Foster had to be joined in a coalition in order to get her across the line. So, I like how Johnson's come in. Okay, there are going to be too many innuendos for me to comment on just because Johnson means penis. But yes, Johnson has come in very lively. He's not covered up at all. And it's a very strong start. Hopefully, you won't just be in briefly, then end in disappointment and tears. But we'll actually see it through and maybe even be able to do a second run. So in his victory speech, he was very positive, enthusiastic, motivational even. Mr. Johnson promised he would deliver Brexit, unite the country, and defeat Jeremy Corbyn. Comrade Corbyn, please. To do what Trump does, he gives people nicknames. It's more fun. You got Lion's Head, Crooked, Hillary, and at the moment you got Sleepy Joe, which is just because then it rhymes with Creepy Joe, but even that's too far out even for Trump to say. So speaking at the QET Centre in London, he said, "We are going to energise the country. We are going to get Brexit done on Halloween and take advantage of all the opportunities it will bring with a new spirit of can-do. We are once again going to believe in ourselves, and like some slumbering giant, we are going to rise and ping off the guy ropes of self-doubt and negativity." He likens himself to Churchill, so I'll do a bit of an impression there, why not? But I do like how he comes across as a self-help guru. Ping off the guy ropes of self-doubt and negativity. I'm half expecting him to say that we will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them in the shipping lanes. We will fight them with the fish wars. We will fight them with our vacuum-packed smoked mackerel. Johnson thanked his predecessor, saying it had been a privilege to serve in her cabinet. He was the foreign secretary, yes, so this is probably where he got a good relationship with Trump then, saying Trump likes him, which is always good. And he's also saying, yeah, work with Farage to get Brexit to work, and hey, we can have a great trade deal. People are saying, oh, well, then we're going to have American drugs and use of the NHS. Well, yes, isn't that good? Considering America spends so much money on their drugs because they actually have a form of capitalism over there for it, that they can compete and develop new drugs, that most of the drugs come out of America because they're allowed to compete, and then we sponge off them, and that's what can keep our healthcare costs lower. If it wasn't for them, then medical advancements would just stagnate, and unfortunately, viruses and pathogens don't stop, in which case they would still mutate and we wouldn't have any new cures for them. So, Theresa May congratulated Johnson, promising him her full support from the backbenchers. Hunt said he was very disappointed, obviously, but I do like that he's got some self-awareness here, saying, "It was always going to be uphill for us because I was someone who voted Remain, and I think lots of party members felt that this was a moment when you just had to have someone who had voted for Brexit in the referendum. In retrospect, that was a hurdle we were never able to overcome." Glad he understands that. We had one Remainer Prime Minister, less than half two, even though Johnson's chief whip, Mark Spencer, was a Remainer, which I think he goes on to mention. But I do like this here. The BBC's Nick Eardley, who was outside the room, where he urged them to unite, unite, unite and win. Yes, but outside the room, you're not in the Rose Garden, are you? Fake news. said such gatherings had been gloomy and downbeat for many months, but this one was full of laughter. One MP told our correspondent, "The Bojo show is up and running." Another said, "The cloud has been lifted." Which is perfect. I mean, if people are feeling better, then they're going to do better. Which is also why I should get up earlier and exercise. So it's already been confirmed Mark Spencer will become Chief Whip, the person responsible for enforcing party discipline in the Commons. Yes, cool. He has pledged the UK will leave on Halloween, do or die. Cool. Will be, Education Minister Anne Milton tweeted her resignation. Goodbye then. Insisting the UK must leave the EU in a responsible manner. International Development Secretary Rory Stewart, what a countryman, as he says himself, confirmed he would be returning to the backbenches where he would spend more time serving Cumbria and walking. Well, there's the door. Go walk to it. Shut it on your way out. Go be a countryman. Gork, from the Gorkwood. Another vocal opponent of a no-deal Brexit announced he was resigning as Justice Secretary. Good. I'm glad that these people who are saying, well, we can't actually do the thing that we've been given the responsibility to do, therefore we're going to leave. Perfect. They joined the likes of Spreadsheet Phil, Philip Hammond, Foreign Office Minister Sir Alan Duncan and Culture Minister Margaret Janes. Also, they would disagree too strongly with Johnson's Brexit strategy to work closely with him. Fantastic. Analysis, don't care. EU's Commission Brexit negotiator Michael Barnier said he was looking forward to working with Mr. Johnson to facilitate the ratification of the withdrawal agreement and achieve an orderly Brexit. Yes, cool. Let's move on. Guy Verhofstadt said the Parliament would hold an extraordinary meeting on Wednesday in response to Johnson's election. Yep, Johnson's come up, hasn't he? He's going in hard. Corbyn reacted to the result by tweeting Mr. Johnson had won the support of fewer than 100,000 unrepresentative Conservative Party members. Not true. The people of our country should decide to become the Prime Minister in a general election. Yes, of course you're opportunistic. Let's hope you never get it. Corbyn said Labour plans to table a motion of no confidence in Johnson. He's a bit too limp. Asked when that would be, he replied, "It'll be an interesting surprise for you, so you don't know. You can't even bring your own party together. We know that. You've got too many remarks of anti-Semitism." So they have mentioned, also newly elected Lib Dem leader Jo Swinson said Johnson had shown time and time again he isn't fit to be the Prime Minister of our country. And Nicola Sturgeon said she had profound concerns. But Arlene Foster, the DUP leader, who kept the Conservatives in government, said the pact, known as a Confidence and Supply Agreement, continued and would be reviewed over the coming weeks to explore the policy priorities of both parties. Fantastic. Leader of the Scottish Conservative, Ruth Davidson, who backed Hunt in the campaign, also sent her congratulations, adding the new PM had an enormous task ahead of him. Yeah, something's come up that needs to be seen to. Yes, and this analysis says that the UK and Europe would still be close, and the congratulations are a sign of that. But what they haven't mentioned here is the great support from Trump, calling him a friend even, and saying that he wishes that he will be able to work closely with Nigel Farage. In fact, Trump has noted that people are calling Boris Johnson Britain Trump, which he says is a great compliment, because of course that's how Trump would react. And hey, who can blame him? That's, as he says, and it always makes me laugh, that like, when he tweeted about the squad, or well, actually just tweeted about some people, and it was taken to mean that he was referring to the squad, that he said this tweet was controversial by some, but many people loved it. And I love how he always throws that in. It's a charismatic ploy that I'd implore anyone else to try. It's always good, because I think, oh, this was bad. Oh, but many people loved it as well. Okay, fair enough. At the very least, it gives a thought of going, oh, he's not saying it was a bad thing because other people loved it, so maybe there's more to it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I am intrigued. Do you think we're going to do much better now because Trump and Johnson get on so well and can share hairstyling tips? And in fact, it was a while ago, Boris Johnson's father, Stanley, said part of the reason for Johnson's success is because of his hair. But yes, let me know what you guys think below. I'm always intrigued. Thank you for coming out, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.